Hi guys, today I want to share some tips and tricks with you on Drive Composer. I've already got my Drive Composer open and I'm connected to drive number 1 over here. So if you look on top over here, there is your control panel. So you can take local control from here. Just a word of warning, if you take local control, it means you and your laptop or your PC is in control of this VSD. And if you go to local, your operator will be very surprised because your plant will probably trip out because it is not in remote anymore. So be careful, know what you want to do. But if you're in local control, you want to commission your drive, you want to do some tests, take local control, reference over here, and I can start my drive. And a neat little trick that I want to show you is if I click on a reference over here, I can see my actual speed over here. So I can change my actual reference to whatever I feel like. Just remember to set it or press enter on it, and if you click this you will see my speed is actually changing like this. So let's stop the drive, go back to remote, and now another thing that I want to show you, if you click on drive 1 you get your parameters over here. Say for instance you are looking for a certain parameter, but you cannot remember the parameter's name, but you can remember part of it. It is easy to get. Say, for instance, I want something to do with stop. I go to this box over here, and I type in stop, and I say filter. Now, the system will look for all the parameters that has got something to do with stop in the name. So it takes a while because it's looking through all the parameters. Okay, so now you can see it brought up all these parameters over here that has got stop in the name itself. So you can have a choice of, or you can have a look to see where your parameter is that you want to change. And obviously, if I want to change stop mode from ramp to coast, I just double click it over here and I can take it to coast. You can change parameters from this view. If I don't want to filter it, I just take the filter off and I see all the parameters again. Now you want to also see which of your parameters is at default and which are not. So you've got this button over here, not at default. You click it and the system brings you up all the parameters in your system that has been changed from default values. So group number 5, diagnostics, this will obviously change because this is actual values. But then in parameter group 12, parameter 25, we've got analog input 2, unit selection. It's been changed. The default is milliamps. It's been changed to voltage over here. So this is an easy way to do some fault finding sometimes. Just remember to deactivate this when you are done with this. Also, say for instance, neat little trick. Let me go to stop mode over here and I see start mode over here and I don't know what does parameter 21.1 means, start mode. I can right click it and go to parameter help and it calls up the parameter book and there's a parameter start mode and you can read what does all the parameters for start mode mean, all the settings for start mode mean. So quite a neat little trick. Also, another little thing that I want to show you, if you don't have your firmware manual with you, you connect it with your drive to Drive Composer, you can go to this button over here, information. Click it and it brings up your firmware manual for this specific drive you are working on. So that's quite nice. You don't have to go and buy or go and search on Google for your firmware manual. Then if I go back to drives over here, I close parameters and I go back to drives, I can see system info. Click this and it tells me what is my drive type and so on. This is quite nice if you're looking for some assistance from ABB and we ask you what is your drive type, you can see this over here. If you want to change your drive name, this is a quick and easy way over here. Just drive 1, I take it to drive, say A, and I set it and now my drive will be changed to drive A after I restart. And if you want to change your date and time, you can do it over here and just say set time. So that is easy to change date and time and change your drive name. Also, what you can see over here is event logger. Event logger is very, very nice. It shows you all your faults, all your trips over the last couple of months and so on. And what it shows you is a date and time. Also type of code, it is a trip or it is information only, or this yellow triangle over here is a warning. So you will see some of them are gray, some of them are colored in. If it's colored in like this, it means this fault was active. This is an active fault. The grayed out one means it is now not active anymore. You can see the fault code, also description of the fault, and then in some cases you will get an auxiliary code as well, a little bit about it later on. And then also some faults have got a data logger connected to it. So let's look for a fault with a fault code, and there's one fan fault with an auxiliary code. So to find out what this is, what does this auxiliary code means, I can go to see this number over here, A581, that is in, the fault code. I open up my manual. This is normal PDF thing, so I go to Control F for find, and I type in this code A581, and I say find it. And I see there's that I found it over here, but it doesn't give me anything useful. So I go to next, and there I see fan programmable warning, main fan fault function, cooling fan feedback missing. And then it gives you what to do. So this is an easy way to do fault finding. And the auxiliary code itself will be over here. It says check your auxiliary code and identify what fan is broken. So it's in the format of XYZ. So XYZ means there's 201 over here. So it tells you the X means was it during ID run or normal? We've got a 2, so it's normal. Y was a 0 with us. 0 is always for a single drive. And 1 means main fan. So main fan was blown. That is an easy way to do fault finding from these codes over here. And then also, let's look at this little graphs over here. As soon as you've got a fault with this little graph icon over here, you click on it, you will see online monitor will now change to data logger. And the system automatically with this fault records a data logger for you with these signals over here. Cannot change these signals. You can manipulate them to work for you, but you cannot remove or add any other signals. So you can see basically why did your drive trip from this data logger file. Okay, and now the very last thing that I want to show you guys is when you've got an issue with your VSD and you phone into ABB, we ask you, please give us your parameter list and your events logger and so on. And you guys normally don't know how to do it. So if you've got Drive Composer Entry or Drive Composer Pro, you see this little envelope with a spanner over here. It's a support package. Now what a support package is, it is a folder or a file that contains your parameter file of the VSD, information about your VSD, also your events logger, and if you've got adaptive programming or adaptive programming inside this, it will give that program with as well. So it's easy to do. You just click on it and it tells you it is creating a support package. This takes a while, so don't be worried. So eventually it will finish and it will come up with the screen. It will ask you, where do you want to save this? I'm just going to save it on desktop and I'm going to give it the name, say test, and save it. So it's happy that it's done. So what happens is there's my test file over there. So what can I do with the support package? You email it to ABB and we open it, say open, and open support package. I'll go look on the desktop for test, and there's test, and I open it up, and now you will see in files drives I've got test support package, and when I click on it I see parameters, event logger, system info. So I'll go to parameters, and this is neat because now in one email I've got your parameters. I've also got your event logger, and you will see it will be in red because support packages will be in red tabs over here. So it's an easy way to distinguish between what is on a live drive and what has been sent with a support package. So with the support package, I can now change parameters for you and email it back to you, and you just download it back into your system, and your fault is fixed up if it is a parameter fault. Okay, guys, I hope this was useful to you guys. See you again later. Bye-bye.